USA Radio, Newsmax TV. I'm going to get right to it because time is short. I got a lot of guests tonight. I'm still going to try and get some calls in and a lot of commentary. So here's my commentary coming out in Sunday's newspapers around the country. It's time for Bussing with the Stars. I was the guy who first recommended President Trump declare a national security emergency and allocate the money for the military budget. After all, we are under foreign invasion. What could possibly fall under the category of military defense more perfectly than defending our own borders? So it made perfect sense, and Trump did it. We have military in 100-plus countries all over the world. We need to bring the troops home and station them at our own border. Let Germany and Japan and South Korea pay for their own national defense, or pay us to keep our troops there protecting them, and then use those billions of dollars that we either save or they pay us to protect our own borders. We should build military bases along the U.S.-Mexico border. How do you like these ideas? Station our troops permanently along the U.S.-Mexico border. Conduct American military exercises 24/7 along the U.S.-Mexico border. Make our southern border a militarized zone to protect against foreign invasion. The Mexican drug cartels would be neutered. On my Newsmax national TV show, that's this show that you're watching right now, I've also discussed 3 other big ideas to solve this national emergency. Here they are. First, Democrats in Congress are bought and paid for by special interests. I personally believe the single biggest special interest bribing Democrats and some rhino Republicans too is the Mexican drug cartels. Why would this shock anyone? Mexican drug cartels make $500 billion a year bringing drugs into the USA. I'm betting they make at least $100 billion more from human trafficking, bringing illegal aliens into the USA. That's $600 billion a year, and that's a lot of money. You don't think it's probable, forget about possible, probable that Mexican drug cartels are protecting their thriving business interests by making substantial donations to Democrat candidates? Of course they are. The American mafia calls this protection money. Just 1% of $600 billion is $6 billion. The Mexican drug lords can afford to throw billions at Democrat candidates, including presidential candidates, congressmen, district attorneys, and police chiefs across this country. And all these bought and paid for Democrats need to do once elected is deny there's a crisis at the border, oppose the wall, support open borders, and protect sanctuary cities. Sound familiar? That's the entire agenda and platform of the Democratic Party of the United States of America. So, my first idea is to bypass Congress, Mr. President. They're too corrupt. Rule by executive order in order to secure our borders. Secondly, and specifically, issue an immediate executive order to suspend asylum rules. Asylum is the root cause of our national emergency. Asylum ends tomorrow with an executive order from President Trump. And third, here's the most powerful way to end this border crisis once and for all. Make Democrats feel the heat. I've recommended for weeks, right on this TV show, take every illegal asylum seeker already in the U.S. and put them on buses and bus them to Democratic districts and the homes of Democrat politicians and liberal judges. Suddenly, I woke up this morning, and this became the biggest story in America. President Trump obviously listened once again. I know he watches this show, and he listened once again, and he's now discussing in a serious way this very idea. And he's threatened Democrats with this very idea. Thank you, President Trump. I call my idea Bussing with the Stars. All these famous Democrat politicians, donors, Hollywood stars, and liberal judges claim to love illegals so much. Let's test that claim. Fill their neighborhoods, fill their schools with illegals. How will they react when illegals are climbing over the walls outside their mansions? Bus all the asylum seekers to Beverly Hills, to Malibu, to San Francisco, to Palo Alto, to Georgetown, to Cambridge outside Boston, to Scarsdale, to Great Neck, and of course the Upper West Side of Manhattan. What's the problem, Nancy Pelosi? Why are you in a rage? Why are liberals panicking? You wanted the illegals so badly. Why don't you want them in your backyard? Just drop them off at Harry Reid's Anthem House in Las Vegas. Drop them off at Nancy Pelosi's San Francisco mansion. Drop them off at Obama's D.C. mansion. Let them climb over Obama's walls. Make sure they bring signs that say, Su casa is mi casa. That's how you end the border crisis tomorrow. Bus them all to all the liberal neighborhoods and the liberal schools and the liberals' homes, especially the liberal judges. Open borders will be closed within 5 days. Asylum will be ended. No more illegal invasion. Problem solved by busing with the stars. My commentary coming out in the Las Vegas Review-Journal and newspapers all across America on Sunday.